at the Center for Complex Systems Studies, SC&IS, Jawaharlal Nehru University. He joined the institution in 2014 and established the lab there. Sir is a PhD in physics from Jadavpur University, India, and a MSc from Jadavpur University only. He was ranked first in MSc Physics in the University of Calcutta. His areas of specialization are economic physics, sociophysics, complex systems and data science, statistical physics, and quantum physics. Sir has also, before joining JNU, Sir was the associate professor in a university in France and also in Banaras Hindu University, India. He has been awarded in 2009 the Indian National Science Academy Young Scientist Medal, India. Sir has been a consultant and part of a number of international collaborations being done for the purpose of being Dono Consulting Private Company, also in a firm in Mexico. Sir,
Yes.
in the group there are physicists, the lab where sir he has established the lab, there are physicists, computer scientists and mathematicians working in different areas of economic physics, sociophysics, statistical physics, nanomaterial science, EEG analysis and pattern recognition, big data analytics, to name a few. So we welcome you all, sir. We welcome you on behalf of Indian Accounting Association NCR chapter and on behalf of TLC Ramanujan College to this session. And really, sir, I'm grateful from the bottom of my heart that you agreed to be a part of this refresher course as a resource person. Thanks a lot, sir. Now it is over to you.
Thank you, Dr. Anjali Gupta, for the very kind introduction. And thank you to all the organizers for inviting us to give this lecture on Introduction to Art. I am sure that you've enjoyed the entire 2-week course, and this the last 2 days you are doing basically this MATLAB, R, and other languages or packages which you can use for statistical computing. So we will try to give you a flavor of what can be done or how to do it, and of course it requires some exercises and some practice to master, but it's relatively easy to actually work in these packages nowadays. So I remember when we used to do PhD, we had to work in a very different environment with much less computing power and much less availability of statistical packages like this. And as the technological thing is improving and also the computing power, life is becoming much easier. So we can tackle more complex problems actually. So I will show some applications also, that what things can be done, and I'm quite sure that these were not possible, at least 1 or 2 decades ago when we were doing our PhDs.
Very true, sir. Very
Right. So let me share my screen. Is it visible?
Yeah. Yes, sir. The screen is visible and you're audible, sir.
Okay.
So
So
you wanted that way that you'll take up the questions at the end of the session, or you wanted that simultaneously you'll be answering them from the chat box or Q&A box, sir?
I think towards the end would be better actually.
Okay, sir. So I just request before the session starts that I request all the participants to be with us in this throughout the session and somewhere at around 11:15 they can put up their questions in the Q&A box so that I and Alka ma'am, who is there to help us out today, we'll just take up those questions so that the same can be answered by sir. Thank you, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So I was telling you that I'll be trying to give you a flavor, an introduction to art. And in this session, Ms. Alka Yadav, who's my student actually, and she's working in the area of data science approaches to environmental systems and climate change, actually. So, like I told you, that she uses a lot of data analysis and statistical modeling to empirical data in the field of environment and climate change. And so she will be helping me uh, to demonstrate some of the exercises or program codes. So, as Dr. Anjali Gupta told, I have a small laboratory in JNU, and we have a very heterogeneous group. Like she said, we have, physicists, computer scientists, uh, chemists, nanomaterial scientists, all working together in the lab. Syed Sharik Hussain is about to submit his PhD. He used to work on social physics. Mr. Vishwas Kukreti works on, finance and cryptocurrencies. So he's working in the area of econophysics. Mr. Praveen Mishra works in the area of nanomaterial science. Ms. Alka Yadav, I've already told, works in the data science applied to environment and climate. Dr. Akshansh Gupta used to work with EEG and brain signals and is now a scientist in SIRI in Pilani. Dr. Amrita Singh is a statistical physicist. Dr. Arun Patel is, again, a nanomaterial scientist. And Dr. Kiran Sharma is a computer scientist who finished her work on social physics and science of science and is now a postdoc in Northwestern University. So we do a huge amount of, various complex problems, which are also known as complex system science, actually. And that is basically interdisciplinary domain. So when we try to apply this physics to economics and finance problem, we call it econophysics. And when we try to apply physics or analysis and tools to sociology, then we call it social physics. So we have had the fortune of publishing one of the first textbooks from Wiley on econophysics and edited one book on econophysics and social physics in 2006. My main area of work has been actually in the income and wealth distribution analysis. So that we have a book from Cambridge University and also in stock market data analysis and modeling. So that's limit order books. This was again from Cambridge. Over the years, I've actually edited several books in different upcoming areas and recent trends. And the first four were from when I was in France, and the last two in JNU actually. And these are mostly available. All the chapters are mostly available in electronic forms, or if you are interested, you can write to me later on, and I can share. Most of my papers are available on my website actually, or in the Google Scholar page, you'll find a list of all the papers, or on Scopus if you have access. So I'm sure you'll be able to find, the applications of what we are going to show today in all these papers actually. So with these words and just a little background on our research, we'll start working on this introduction to R, okay? Now, it came up around the early 90s, and it was initially written by Ross Ihaka and Robert Gentleman at the Department of Statistics, University of Auckland in New Zealand. A large group of individuals has since contributed to R by sending codes and bug reports and all that. And from 97 onwards, there has been a core group which manages. It's called the R core team, which manages and sources the R codes in an archive form. Okay. Now, as we told earlier, it's a programming language and software environment for statistical analysis in graphics thing. And the main features that we see are as following. So it's a very well-developed, very simple and effective programming language, which you will see. And it uses all the types of things that used to exist in C or in other languages like Python. And you can integrate actually the codes or things between these different languages as well. So R also has an effective data handling and storage facility. It uses a whole suite of operators for calculations on arrays, lists, vectors, matrices, which you must have got familiar. I think you had a course on MATLAB yesterday, so you'll find it's quite similar in the style of programming. And R provides a large, coherent, and integrated collection of tools for data analysis and also for graphical display of whatever you're doing. And you can often embed these figures or analysis directly into your paper using your LaTeX, or you can write it in the form of slides from R directly. So it's very, very flexible. So you can write it in such a way that it will be inserted in the form of a paper. Um, those who use Windows, it's very simple to install actually. And if you want a demonstration video, you can find a link in YouTube. It just takes about a few minutes to actually install R. And in Linux also, it's very, very easy. So in either of the platforms, you can use these links to install. Uh, so if you install, we advise you also install something called the RStudio, because it's an easier interface to work with R. You can directly, so if you're using a Linux thing, you can directly use the command window to run your R codes, but you also have an environment or interface which is called the RStudio, which is easier. And this is something which looks like, and Alka will show you even more when she tells you how to run these codes and what these individual things are. Alternately, now, so you have to install packages and all, and that Alka will show you. Alternately, you can actually use a more friendly and user-friendly environment like the Google Colaboratory. I don't know if you've used it for Python. It is originally designed for Python, but it can be also used for R. And the advantage is that you don't have to install R at all. And you can just, if you have a Google account, you can open a sort of a notebook or a workbook, and you can start installing and running, installing the packages and running your R codes there. The advantages in this is that you can also write your own notes and write it in the form of basically a notebook, so that it's easier for other people to follow it. And so with these things, I will now hand it over to Alka to first show what she's been doing. So I'll stop sharing my screen, and I'll ask Alka to proceed for a few minutes. Alka?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you to all the organizers to invite me. And this is such an immense pleasure for me to share my knowledge of R with all the students and participants. So as sir told us that, so RStudio, I'll just share my screen first. So is my screen visible, sir?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so this is the interface of RStudio. You are seeing here, like there are, I'll just, so there are mainly 4 blocks, like the script block, the environment block, the console block, and all the packages, plots, and help block. So I'll tell you one by one what we can use, what we can do using these all the blocks. So the first one that you are seeing here is the block. Here we can write the script, we can write our code. So all the codes and like we can import the data and all these things. So here are like, you can write your script. There are many things that you can do here. Like we can write our script, we can write a notebook, we can do the R markdown. So R markdown is basically what it is. Like it combines both the codes and the text together and makes a notebook, and you can like publish it on the server. And then there is a Shiny web app, and there are like R presentation. You can make slides also on R, and you can do the documentation. So this is what, like, all these things we can do using this R script. Uh, and here, like, as I have done some of my codes, I'll show you. So there is the second block you are seeing here is the environment and history block. So here, like, all the data and all the variables that you will use in your code, this will show you all those in details. Like, for example, I have this city data, and this will show you that what this city data contains, how many variables it contains, and what are the how many numbers of observation it has. Like, and so the environment will tell you all the all in details, the data sets, the variables that you use, and you can clear all these things by just click on this eraser. And so the second thing is history. All the codes that you run on R, it has a it create history so that you can use it in future also. You can take it like, if you like forget your outputs or all the things, you can use this history button. And there is like one more thing. This I have done, I have linked it. You can link your GitHub account if you all have, using this RStudio. So all the codes that you do on RStudio, we can commit it to the GitHub, and we can it will save all the versions of your codes. And the third block that you are seeing here is the console one. So all the things that you run on script part, it will show you how the output looks like, or all the outputs you'll see here. Like, for examples, if I want to see some lines of the city data, I'll just run here and it will show you that this uh, so this data is basically, I'll just give you a quick intro. This is air pollution data for all the cities of India. And this I have downloaded, and the air pollution data is in RStudio also. There is attached data, some data, attached data sets in the R. So all the code that you will run, this will show you the outcome. Uh, and the fourth block you are seeing here is basically all the files that you have in that folder, in the directory in your computer or PC. So it will show you all the direct files here with the codes, with the text, or with the plots that you have plotted in your code. And the second one, like, all the plots that you plot, it will show you here. And you can zoom it, you can see it in a different window also. And so and what you can do is you can export all these plots. You can save as an image, as a PNG file, or as a JPEG file, or as a PDF file you can save, or you can import it in any of your presentation or in any of your paper that you need. And the third one is the help. That is very important. Like, if you're stuck at any point in your coding, you can just put it down. You can just ask here, okay, I am stuck in the ggplot. Like, there are many things in R you can do. Like, if I want to ask, there is autocorrelation function, or there is cross correlation function, I do not know how to run the code related to these. So I just give an inquiry here, and it will show me all the things that is required. Like, it will show you the code that will be helpful to you. So this is very friendly environment. The RStudio is very friendly. If you'll use it, like, all the information, all the things that you want to know, it is available inside in it. Like, as Anirban sir told you, that it has the libraries packages inbuilt. So all the libraries packages we can use easily, and all the packages that you will install, it will show you here, like a number of packages and libraries. It are the and this is the collection of all the packages that I have installed so far. So this is what, like, there is last viewer one. So when we plot like the map, or any other like leaflet or Google map, it will show you the plot here. And easily, like, so this fourth block is actually the representation of all the plots, all the packages, all the files, and the most important, the help that you can take. So this is what like so this is the environment of RStudio. And the I mean, I'll show you in detail some of the things in between. So there is like alternate thing also. So like here are many things that you will see. If you'll install it, you can take the help in RStudio. You can see the cheat sheet of like RStudio and all these things. And there are like debug also, you can build, there are session, you can restart the session, or you can use the you can set your working directory. Like sometimes it happens your data is in different directory, so you can use the set your working directory here, just a one line command. And then so, and one more thing I want to share here is, this is very important. Like you can make your projects, number of projects here. Like if I am working on 2 or 3 projects simultaneously, I can open all these 3 projects in the different RStudio windows. Like if I am working on air pollution or the different Arctic, like there, these are my projects that I work on. So all these projects, like you can make it in your directory, and one by one, like simultaneously, you can open and you can do the work together. So this is what like you can do with all the things uh, uh, using this interface of RStudio. So the second thing that sir has told us, that there is an alternative, like if we do not have the RStudio or R in our computer and we need it in urgent, so we can do it using the Google Collaboratory. I'll just show you how we can do it using Google Collaboratory. Sorry. Uh, so yeah, is it visible, sir? Anipa sir?
No, because I think you are sharing only one screen. You have to share your entire screen.
Oh, let me just share. Sorry. Now is it visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So yeah, so this is how the Google Collaboratory looks like. So here, like we can make our notebook. We can insert text, we can insert the codes, we can see the plots and all these things together. And we can put our own data set here. We can import the data set from our PC or the Google Drive. And there are like, so one thing that he was telling you, that we can use this earlier it was like we were using it as a Python. Now we can change it to the R or Python, or we can simultaneously work together also. So there is like hardware accelerator. So you can choose your hardware too. You can choose GPU or TPU. If you want, like GPU is very helpful in the graphical representation and all these things. It takes less time. So this is what like we can uh, use both Python and R in the same notebook. And the other thing is like so all the tools and runtime, and we can insert our files, and we can upload so the file that you have already in your PC, the Python file or the R file, you can upload your notebook here and you can edit that notebook too. So this is like, we can save it in our Google Drive, we can save it, we can copy it to GitHub, all these things, and we can download it as a .py or .i file. So yeah, so there is like so we can import, so the thing that we can do on RStudio, we can do it on here also. Like we can import all the libraries, packages, and we'll do all the things. Like I'll show you in between the plots and all these things, how we can plot it. So yeah, with this introduction to both the environment, RStudio and the Google Collaboratory, I'll hand it over to Anirban sir. He'll be continue and he'll show you what we can do with our, like in research or in industry or in any project, how you can use the R. Anirban sir, over to you.
Yeah, Alka, just one quick thing. One of the person's asked that from your Google account, how can you initiate the Colab environment?
Okay, nice, good question actually. I'll just show you quickly how we can do it. So if you have your Google account, so here like you have, you need to open the Google Drive. All of you must have this drive first, and then I'm just opening it. So when you open this, you'll see that there are these options: new, my drive, computer, shared with me, and all this. So you have to click it on new. So when you click it on new, there are like new folder, or you want to file upload or these things. So you'll see that there is this more option. In this more option, so you go and you see that there is a option Google Collaboratory. So when you click on this Google Collaboratory, a file will get open. So it will take just 1 or 2 seconds. So yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
So now like you can edit all the name of the file, and you can start proceed your code here from here. Is it clear, sir? Is it clear to the answer is clear? So now, Anirban sir, over to you. You proceed
Yeah,
further.
thank you. So there was another question, whether R is free. Yeah, that's the advantage, that R is a free
R is
software and it's an open software. So
Ah,
anyone can actually contribute to the R software as well. So if you write your own modules, you can send it to the R code team and they will add it actually. So, and it counts as a publication. So there are many statisticians who use new techniques, and then they write our codes and our projects and contribute to the community actually.
So
So
to this answer, like I want to add one point. Like we can use this RStudio and we can publish our codes and notebooks that Sir is telling us. So there is like this R pubs. So all the codes and notebooks make the collection of all these things, and other people can see also, like all the work that you want to share with the public. So yeah, it's an open source, completely an open source, and it is like made for this purpose. Like you can help the community, you can help other people by sharing your knowledge on this platform. So yeah, Anirban sir, over to you.
yeah, Alka, there's one more question which is very important. They're saying that, is there any
Mhm.
difference between RStudio and Collaborate in terms of collaboration? But I think that from RStudio also you can post your codes and your results in RPub, which Alka is now displaying on the screen, and that helps you to actually collaborate with other people. So you can
Right.
what you call commit your codes, and you can get your codes. So it's like a GitHub, and you can merge codes of different people. You can and work together in a in Colab also. It's much easier to share. You can share a notebook
You
with
can.
other person, just like you work as a Google document. You can work as a in Google Doc. We can work simultaneously. Many of the collaborators can work simultaneously. Similarly, in Colab also, if Alka shares this notebook with me, I can actually work and run the code simultaneously. So it's very useful actually. Uh,
Sir, can we, many participants are asking that how to go about Google Collaboratory? They are not able to find it on their Google. Can we, sir, display it for a second, sir? Take a minute and is
sure,
it
sure.
possible, sir?
Yeah. So Alka, can you repeat once more? Actually, I think they
Okay,
missed
sure,
something.
sure, sure.
Yes, sir. Thank you,
Um,
Alka ma'am. Thank you.
that is okay. So what we need first is like to open the Google Collaboratory. All of us has a Google account, right? So from here, like there are like Gmail, Meet, and all these icon you are seeing here. So we have to open the Google Drive, our Google Drive. So when we open this Google Drive, so you'll see that there are these new my drive, computers shared with me, all these things are coming. So you have to click on the new. So you want to open something new. So here, what do you want to open? New file or docs or all these like slides or Google form. So there is one more option. This in this more option, you will see that there are these many. So here you will find the Google Collaboratory option. And when you click on this Google Collaboratory option, your file automatically will get open. And then you can change this file. If it will be, if it will open in the Python version, then you can change it to the R. Like I showed you that we can change in edit section, we'll go and we'll see the notebook settings. And in this notebook settings, like when you open the new notebook, you'll see that it will show you none. So you have to, oh sorry, this is a hardware thing. So yeah, hardware also you can change the GPU, TPU, and like in the notebook settings, when you'll go, this is showing me the hardware actually. Okay. So yeah, there is like you can change it to the R, like the way I did it here, edit. There are many settings you can do it here in the edit section, and you can clear all the outputs and all. So this is how like you can open the Google Collaboratory. Is it clear to all of you?
Yes, Alka ma'am. It's just that some participants are not able to open it. They can view it later on one more time. Maybe the icon is
Sure.
not being active. But we can move on further, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay, okay, sure.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Okay, sir.
Alka, yeah,
I'll stop sharing my screen, sir. You share yours.
fine, fine. So I'm sharing again in case people didn't understand. So this is my Gmail, right? And I'm sure everyone would have this thing on the right. You can again go to your Google Drive, as she was saying. It will open your Google Drive, and then you can start with a new. You click this button, you'll see all these options, and then you'll have a more. When you open your more, you will see all these options coming. Okay. You will not find it if it's your institutional account, because your institution may or may not allow those suits. So like Google Jamboard is normally available to any person who's holding a Gmail account. Okay. But I also have a GNU account which runs a Google Suite account, G Suite, but Google Jamboard is not included there. Okay. So I don't know if you don't have if you have a normal Gmail account, all these options should be there. Okay, as I'm showing, like this is my normal Gmail account. Okay, or as Alka was showing, it's a normal Gmail account actually. So you should be able to open any one of these, right? So I use all of these actually, including Google Drawings, Google Jamboard, Google Lab, Colab. Okay, so next, what I want to show is, of course, if I want to, I'll go back to my presentation. Right. So can you all see my presentation?
Yes.
Okay. So we had stopped here and we were introducing you the two, environments which you can use or interfaces which you can use to write your R codes and see your results. Both are very flexible, as I saw, and I saw a few questions that, from RStudio also you can actually send your codes to this GitHub, which is called RPub, and you can collaborate with your, co-authors or co-workers. Similarly, in Colab also, you can share your notebook with your co-authors and co-workers, and you can work together simultaneously. Now, I just wanted to show a few things where we apply so that it's easier for you to understand, how to go about it, okay? So some of these applications, I will just show you that what you can do with R. So one is you can do huge amount of time series analysis, okay? And that's very, very easy. And as I told you, I work mostly in the field of, economics and financial markets. So here, for example, I've plotted the, USA SP 500 index. So you can download this data freely from Yahoo Finance. Okay, it will give you a historical data. So you can download it in the form of .csv files, or you can download as an Excel sheet. and then you can directly read the CSV file or the Excel sheet into R. So you can import the data there, and then you can use the time series library. So you have to install it the very first time you install a library. It will be available for the entire session. But for each session, you have to actually have to run the libraries that you will go and use. So you install the library time series, and it will give you a huge number of inbuilt tools already existing. And with that, you can plot and you can make very, very fancy plots, including interactive plots, actually. So, I won't show it here, but you can actually go and, zoom, and you can expand, and you can do a lot of things within that plot as well. You can make movies. So R is extremely powerful, actually. And all this is there free. So MATLAB is also very powerful and flexible. And I often use MATLAB for very fancy plots. But the problem with MATLAB is that it is a paid software. It's a proprietary software, and it's very expensive. And especially, all of us have to have MATLAB simultaneously if you want to, work in a joint project. In R, you can work in any of these machines, any of the operating systems. It's free everywhere, in Mac, in Linux, in Windows, and the code remains the same, actually. So you don't have to worry about compatibility and other things. Okay? So, for example, I told you that you can plot these different time series, with dates, even in linear scales or linear logarithmic scales. So I'll show you, for example, we work with different, price time series of different stocks. So here you have a price time series of two companies, and you can plot them as a function of time. You can compute, you can manipulate this data, and you can compute other time series. So this is the logarithmic time series, which we are computing from the above two time series, okay? And once you have these time series, you can calculate, for example, the cross correlation coefficient. And Alka will actually show you later, how to calculate these cross correlation coefficients. So you can compute between two time series. And if I have a large number of time series, you can actually get a matrix which will show you the values of all these cross correlation coefficients between different time series. Okay, and we will show you how to do it. Actually, we will use a particular data set and show you all those things. Now, what you will see, for example, here, I had 194 time series, and I computed these cross correlation matrices over certain time windows, and then I slided these time windows. So then what happens is you see that the cross correlation pattern changes. Okay, and you can make very fancy plots like this and to see how the cross correlation pattern changes. Okay, or if you have this cross correlation coefficients, you can also compute what the probability density functions are, and you can see the evolution of these cross correlation functions. Okay, so once you have that, you can calculate all the moments that you'll normally learn in statistics. So you can calculate the mean, the variance, the skewness, the kurtosis, and all such things. Okay, so it's like what we are saying, that R is designed for statistical analysis, and it's extremely easy to actually compute these things. So these are all one line codes, actually. Yeah. So the entire code would hardly be about 10 lines to produce such a fancy plot, actually. And Alka will demonstrate to you soon after that it's as easy as we say. Okay. So just have a look at where we have applied, and then we will actually walk you through that how to go about that. Okay. So this is one type of thing, and we have a whole series of papers. So if what I told you is that you will find all these papers in my Google Scholar page, or you can find it in my Scopus page, or you can find it in my web page, and you will see most of the plots that we have drawn here are all produced with R. Okay, and as I told you that R is a software which is open sources and it's free. It's easier for people to actually work on with R. Okay. We also have a huge number of papers where we have done what are called network analysis. And again, it's one line code. You have a whole library built to draw networks, to analyze networks. So once you install that library, we use this iGraph and ggplot libraries, you can just use one line codes to produce fancy plots like this. Okay, and we will show you how to draw these type of trees, or clustering diagrams or dendrograms. So Alka and I will walk you through to show you how we can produce these as well. Okay. uh, you can I told you that we analyze huge amount of socioeconomic data. So this is, for example, a network showing ethnic conflicts. So what different ethnic groups exist normally, right? In a country or in a society, we have different ethnicities, and often you will have that two ethnic groups fighting with each other. So we have a database where we see that, okay, if ethnic group A is fighting with another ethnic group B, so then what we do is we join A and B because they are engaged in a conflict, and we draw a link between them. So group A is one node, group B is another node, and we link these two with an edge. And this way, if B goes and fights with C or has a conflict with C, then B will be also connected to C, and we start growing a network. So this is, for example, a network which shows all the ethnic conflicts that happened in 2001. So from January to December 2001, you have all the data available in a database. You download the database, and then you keep on searching for these different ethnic groups. And whenever two ethnic groups are fighting with each other, you put a link. And this way you grow, you aggregate the data between January to December, and you plot a network. Once you have a network, you can actually look at various things. You can color, you can zoom things. Okay, so I will show you. You can find out which are the biggest nodes, which are the biggest links, and that will give you a lot of insight, because if you have tables of data, you cannot make insightful predictions. But once you have graphical representations, either in the form of networks or some other tools that you are using, then the analysis becomes much easier. Okay, so you will find we have a series of papers, and you can read these papers to find out how we did that. Okay, so again, spatiotemporal evolution, it's very easy to show. So here we were working with what is called the Global Terrorism Database, which is maintained by University of Maryland. And it's again a publicly available database. It's free. You can download it if you are using it for academic purposes. So you have to probably register and download that database. And here we show, for example, all the terrorist activities that happened between 1970 and 2016. Okay, so what we have done is we've colored them according to the different decades. So if it's red, it's older. If it's blue, it's more recent. So you have all these decade wise events that happened across the world. So we have what is called the spatiotemporal data. So you can make very fancy plots like this actually, and Alka will show you. It's very easy to make it. She will show you how she's drawing, for example, the climate data for Australia, or air pollution data for India, or in the NCR region. Okay, so all these things can be done very easily. What we have done also is combine different tools and techniques. So once we have the spatiotemporal plot, what you can do is again build networks from there. Okay, so what we have done is, if there is a source, which is a terrorist organization attacking another target, we draw a link which goes from the source to the target. That means terrorist organization A is attacking a target which is B. Okay, so we draw a link between A and B, and this way we see that how the pattern grows. So what you see, for example, here is a huge network, and we have just colored it because the gray part is joined together. So it's a big component, which we often call the giant component. And then there are small isolated, small graphs, which are like the periphery or peripheral graphs. So basically, if you actually look into it, you will find that there are certain nodes which are extremely active, very important. So what you can do is you can again run some algorithms which are already existing to identify what is called the backbone of the network. Okay, so here we used again a publicly available code which is called the disparity filter in R to extract what is called the backbone of a network, and that is colored in maroon. Okay, now once you extract that backbone, you will find that, oh, you have extracted actually all the nodes and the links which are most important in that network. And then you can actually use several other machine learning algorithms and other techniques to predict that, okay, which ones will be the most important in the next few years, okay, or how will it evolve, or those type of questions you can ask, right? So if you actually zoom this maroon colored one, you will find something like this. Okay, and here what we have done is we have labeled them and we have colored them into source and target. So all the sources are deeper in red, and the targets are, you know, light purple or something shade. So you can actually look at, you know, this one which was colored in maroon is now shown when you zoom it. Okay, and you can go and see each and every organization, okay, that which one is what and how they're doing. So you will see wonderful patterns also, and depending on these patterns, now you can strategize your you can make strategies, or you can make policies so that you can control the spread of terrorism. Okay, so what we have done is, in this series of papers on ethnic conflicts, human rights violations, you know, global terror hubs, we have studied the spatio-temporal time series and used different types of techniques, and all these plots are drawn in R actually. Okay, so what we will now do is show you these analysis and plots with R. Okay, and the easiest ones are like the statistical two things which you already do in school or in college. So basically, like creating if you have a data, so you create certain types of graphs. So we'll start with the simplest ones. For example, these uh, um, this graph into a pie chart. So what you do is, and just be patient. I will just show you the slides, and then Alka will actually execute them in Google Colab and show you that how it works. Okay, so just have a look. Don't worry. You don't have to execute them now, but you can think. And if you want, Alka can share all the codes with you. That's not a problem. Okay, so you can also go and click in her GitHub page, and you will find all the codes written there. So you can download the codes. You can run those codes. And if you have any problem, you can get back to us later. Okay. So suppose I want to build a pie chart, and the numbers that are given are this 21, 62, 10, and 53. So what you do is you create a sort of a list here, and then you can also create a sort of a labels. And I will talk about these data types and data structures towards the end. So some are numbers, some are strings. Okay, now that is where you have to be careful. I will talk about the theoretical part, which is the boring part, towards the end. At the first part, I'll just show you, what are the beautiful things that you can do so that you get motivated, and then the boring things come at the end. Okay, and then it's just a one-line code where you draw the pie with this data X and with these labels which you have already created, and you will find this nice chart. You can even make it fancier. You can change it according to the colors that you want. Okay, you can change it we can put labels in a different way. Okay, so you have a huge amount of options there. You can make 3D pie charts as well. Okay, if you want to represent the same thing, see, you have a default color code, then you change your color code, you define a legend, you can change your legends, or you can define it in this way. So all these are one line codes that you see. Okay, you see, these are all one line codes. Similarly, you can draw bar charts. So again, what we've done, we've just created a few numbers, 7, 12, 28, 3, and 41, and we've just written bar plot H. Once we write bar plot H, you get a bar plot with these numbers. So this is 7, this is 12, this is 28, this is 3, and this is 41. Okay, as simple as that, right? And then again, you can make it fancier. Yeah, you can code according to your own colors. You can put labels, you can put dates, or whatever you want. You can put boundaries, and you can make different type of bar charts. Okay, so again, as you see, this is just one line code, actually one line code. So these are bar charts. Next, you can make what are called group charts or stacked bar charts. Again, what we have done, is we create a sort of a, three vectors with green, orange, and brown. These months are March, April, May, June, July, and regions east, west, and north. And then what you do is you can make these different matrices. You can input the data in different forms, and then you can draw this bar charts. Okay, these are group bar charts. You can make very, very fancy ones. Okay, and the good thing is like this. You could have also drawn it with an Excel, but this is like a code which you, if you have huge number of data sets, you can use the code to run for a big data set. So the problem with Excel is that you often get stuck if you have huge data files, or it takes longer time, or sometimes you can't even compute or do analysis. Or it can handle huge amount of data, so it's very suitable for big data analytics. Again, if people have used MATLAB, they would know that anything which is written in the form of matrix and numbers, MATLAB handles extremely fast and quickly. But it fails, or it becomes very slow if you have strings or it processes strings. But R has an advantage that it can process both numbers as well as strings, which are alphanumeric characters. It can process both of them extremely quickly. So it's very, very suitable for doing big data analytics where you have both numbers as well as strings to handle. Okay, so for example, Alka will show you a data set where you have cities, city names, and then you have these different air pollution time series and data. So what will happen is that she will show you that you can draw very fancy plots, and you can handle the names of the cities, you can handle the names of the regions, you can have different maps, and then on top of that you can draw different charts. Okay, fine. So then you can also create histograms. So if I give you a list of data, okay, you have the data, and then you tell it that, okay, I want a certain number of bins. Okay, so I want 5 bins, and the limit is between 0 and 40, the X limit. The Y limit is between 0 and 5. Can you draw a histogram? So it's just one line code. You draw the histogram. Okay, and you can draw it just like this with yellow and blue border or with the green and red border. So again, you have that flexibility of choosing your color combinations. Okay, and it's simple one line code actually, which will give you a histogram for a whole list of data. Okay, similarly, you can draw line graphs. Okay, again, here what we've done is taken the same database, 7, 12, 28, 341, and instead of drawing a bar chart, you've now drawn a line graph. You've drawn a line graph with certain type O, which means that you can draw it with symbols and it will be drawn with lines. And then you can change the type of this symbol, and it will give you different types of graphs. Okay, so if you want a different color, you can color it in this way, or you can make fancier plots. Okay, so again, Alka will show you some plots later on. You can draw scatter plots. So there is an inbuilt data set. In R, there are some practice data sets, so you don't have to create your own data. So one of these data sets is called empty cars, and Alka will show you how to download that data set and use it for your statistical analysis. So what it does is it gives you the scatter chart between the weight and the mileage. Okay, so it's a plot like this. And then you can make different with the same data sets for different things. You can make fancy box plots and things like that. Okay, and so with this I will now hand it over to Alka, and she will show you how to work with these data sets. Okay, so Alka, up to you.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'll just share my screen first. So is it visible, sir?
It is, yeah. but you are showing the PPT
Okay.
actually. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
is it now visible, the introduction to our?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, okay. So yeah, so as sir was telling us that we can do all these plots thing in using Google Collaboratory. So first thing that we need to do is just the very first step is to install all the packages and the libraries that we will use in our all the plots. So all the plot, the basic plot that Anirban sir has showed to all of us is using the Plotrix library. So I installed first the package called Plotrix, and after installing this package, we have to call the library. Otherwise, it will not work in our work function. So installing packages and then calling the libraries, and then we'll start. So yeah, the first one I'll show you how to plot the pie charts. So the for the pie chart, like I was seeing some questions that how are we making it, are we using the data set, or how are we doing the syntax and all. So for so to all of you, like to show in a easy way, we have just created our data ourselves. Like in a vector we created our data. You can take it like there are 4 5 countries: London, New York, Singapore, Mumbai. These for these 4 countries, I just take the data. You can take it the data, the revenue data, or any data you can say, like in numbers 21, 62, 10, and 53. So this is so x is equal to c of this. This we call it vector, like in the data structure and data types. Anirban sir will tell you if time will permit us. So just first we have created this x is equal to our data set, and then we give the labels. And then after giving these labels, I just call the function of pi from Plotrix library. And using this, like if I'll run it, then you will see that it will plot the pie chart, the basic and very simple pie chart. Now, if we want to do the modification in this pie chart, so we can add the like main, we can give the title, we can change the colors, we can do the legend part. So in the same function, pie plot function, we can add these all the arguments inside the bracket. Like we can give the color of, I have given it the color of rainbow, so it will take automatically all the colors from the rainbow. So here I'm just taking the 5 1 2 3 4, and right. So so if I'll increase these countries, then it will take more colors from the same rainbow function. And you can put the legend on the top right, and you can give like so this CEX, you can increase the uh, intensity of the all the lines and all these colors. So yeah, so this was our
Altaf, can
first
you
pie
just
chart. This,
instead of Mumbai change it to Delhi and show how it will change, or instead of
right, right.
0.8?
So
Yeah.
uh, we can change all the labels that you want. Like you can put Delhi, you can put Mumbai, and it will get changed. And you can change the ratio also. Like if I'll change if I'll change my data, like if I'll change here the fractions, so it will get changed. Like 52, if I'll do it 10, then my vector is now changed, our data is changed. And then you see that now the you see that one thing happened, like this London, for the London part, like this is just the basic one. So I'll again use that data that I have changed now, and I'll use this to show you how Mumbai and Delhi labels will come. So see, now Mumbai has like this label here, and are we seeing the Delhi, sir? So in the legend part, actually it got changed. So we have to change it in the labels. So you see that this is a legend of arguments. So in legend, all the legend will come here, like London, New York, Mumbai, and Delhi. So this vector and this vector should be same, the labels one. I have not changed the Delhi and Delhi. I have not changed here, so it will not show us. Labels will remain the same. So here, like labels are same: London, New York, Singapore, Mumbai, but legends got changed. So we can change. We can do all these modification as per our requirement and as per like our what we need in data sets to understand well. And then there is like this interesting one. We can plot this pie chart in 3 dimension also. So here you see that I just added this function pi 3D. And again, the same function I'll use, the same data I'll use that I created, and the same labels, and we can change these labels. And so this, I have give one more argument, explode. So this explode will give like, will separate all these New York, Singapore, Mumbai, London, you are seeing these blocks, it will separate out. I'll show you the change. Like now you are seeing is, I have given the explode 0.1 and the title of the name. This is just, these are the two changes I have done in 3D plot. So I'll just show you that I changed the change data set, right? I changed the vector before above. So this is how it got changed. And if I change this argument to 0.1 to 0. Let us say like 2 or 3, then you'll see that how it will got changed. So according to our data, according to to understand it, so we can change all these things. So like for 0.3, it is not showing us the good thing. So again, 0.1, it was doing well, good job. So this
Alka
is all
ma'am,
about the pie
I
chart.
think
You can
Alka,
create.
Alka ma'am, a participant is asking that how to start a new file, data file, and then upload the data out here in.
Okay, okay. I'll show you. I'll show you in
So they are
I have
requesting
all
to
these.
start with a new data which is not there in R, so that they
True.
know
True.
how to start.
Okay, okay. No, so we have this in our slide. I'll show you how we will do. It's just all the participants have a little patience. So I'll
Yes,
show you one by one the all the plots and how we can import the data or how we can attach the data from the R.
thank
Thank you. I'll show.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Alka,
So the second one, because yes,
Alka.
sir.
Yeah, two things. One is
Hmm.
we don't have much time actually, so it's like uh,
Right.
uh,
Okay, okay. I'll go in
yeah,
quick. Hmm.
right. Second one is actually what they're asking is that how do I know that which functions to use? Okay, so let me mention this, that that's why Alka said that this help function is very important in R.
R.
So if you just say that I want to plot pie chart, it will tell you which function to use, or I want to plot a bar chart, it will tell you what function to use. Okay. Okay, and if you say that I want to create a data set, how to import a data set, how to import a CSV file, how to import Excel file, all the codes, you'll get one line codes, and it will give you with example that how to import that, how to do that. Okay, so here, for example, she's creating the data chart, right? So she's creating a vector X with the values 7, 12, 28, 3, and 41. She can change these and it will give you a different one. Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So we can the to answer that, I'll give you a quick answer. So here you are seeing this icon, right? So here we can import our data set. There are like upload to the session storage. So we can import our data set from, like, if you'll click here, it will ask you what are the files or data sets you want to import, right? So we can do all these things in collaboratory also. Like in RStudio, it is very uh, like easy to do, and in collaboratory you will see that all using all these when you'll get familiar with the collaboratory, it is also easy to use. So we can upload our data set, we can upload our, actually you'll see that we can upload our notebook also, if we have created our notebook, or if you'll use like if I'll share my notebook to you, you can upload that notebook in the Google Collaboratory, and you can start editing that notebook also. So yeah, all these things you can do. I'll tell you in detail. You can ask me in later also. You can connect with us. We'll tell you in detail, because like the time will not permit us in. So I want to show you all the things quickly how we are doing this. So the thing that we are doing here, I have just created the data set just for the convenience. Like you'll understand how all these plots and functions we are using.
Yeah.
So this.
Alka, just 1 second. Dr. Anjali Gupta, so afternoon there will be a session where somebody will teach the data analysis using R, right?
So there it is going to be the data analysis using, we'll be just covering the regression part, sir.
Okay, fine, no problem.
So we can, sir, you can take 5 or 10 minutes extra. And the added thing is that participants are fine with the pace. They can review it later on
Yeah,
so that they can have maximum output out of the session. Thank you, sir.
sure. Thank you. Alka, yeah, so please
Okay.
continue. Sorry to disturb you.
Okay, so the second chart that Sir has showed us, the bar chart, right? So for the bar chart, we have used this bar plot function. So if you have the data set, like the data set, you can import your data set also in .csv or in XLS format. So you can call from that data set, actually, you have to call the vector, like one column of the data set. On what category you want to plot the bar chart, right? So if you'll call that, then give just this bar plot function, and it will just in within 2 or 3 seconds, it will plot them. And you can modify this plot by giving the different colors, by giving the title and all these things. Like if I change the color, border color from red to like let us say green, and it will change like make color. If I'll change the red, it will just, okay, sorry, green. And here if I'll change this red color, then now the histogram plot will give you with these two colors, the red and so this modification, like in this bar plot function, you can do. And one important thing is like if you want to give the axis name, like axis labels, axis name, we have to create a vector for that. Like M is my March, April, May, June, July, or we can give we have the functions in R like using, there is a dev tool or there is different libraries. It will give you month's name automatically also. I'm showing you here like in an easy way that we can give manually also all the axis name that you want to give, like all these things you are seeing. And the third one that we do is the group bar charts. So bar charts, so group, for the group bar charts, like there are two, if we have two variable, we can easily plot it, like the category we can see. Like so if we want to see the other third category, third variable on the same plot, then we can just give the another 1 or 2 3 line like addition. So in the bar plot, like you see names dot argument, months already we have, and the colors and all these things. So you just run it. If I'll change these colors, like green, I have given the colors here. So you have to give this argument call is equal to colors. So you can change all these colors that you find well for your work. So like I'll just change a quick this orange to green or whatever you want. So this will just show us the changes. And this is how like the stack will get changed. So so the data that you are seeing here is as simple as this. So we had the for 4 to 5 months we created our data set on by our own. So we just wanted to see, okay, how we can plot it on using the bar plot. And then again, in the last, this group one, we added one more variable, and we wanted to see east, west, north. So that in each of the values, it can do the, it can add this in the group way. So this is what about the bar chart. And then next one is the histogram. So you can plot the histogram using the hist function. So this hist function will give you if I'll just show you by running it. So this the hist function has many arguments. You can check these all arguments if you use the RStudio in the help. So it will show you that what are the arguments we need in the hist function. So the basic argument that we need is basically the data, the vector that v is here, and others are for the modification. Like I want to give the title of the this plot, or I want to give the label name, I want to give the, so you can fix these access limits also. So I'll show you in the here, like here I have changed my x limit and y limit. So hist of x, like labels, I have given the weight, and color I changed to the green, and you can like change the bins width also, like breaks I have given here 5. So this is how like you can modify your histogram plot. So this is just a hist function. In hist function, you have to give all these arguments. And then comes the line graph. So in
Okay.
line graph also,
Alka,
this is answer.
we'll have to probably skip these simple
Okay,
ones
okay.
because we have to
So
show, yeah, we have to show the other correlation matrices and maps as well.
okay.
Okay.
So this, like this line plot, you can simply give this function plot and you do this. So the scatter plot also, I just want to show you one thing, that the data set that I attach here is from the R. So it is available in R. So I attach this empty cars data. And after just attaching it, I just see that what this data looks like. So that this data looks like this. So it has the different car models, and all these variables like miles per gallon, cylinder, displacement, all these variables are the features of all these cars. So we want to see how these variables are related, like if miles per gallon, how this miles per gallon related to the weight, or to the horsepower, or to the displacement. So I just plotted one this scatter plot. So scatter plot I plotted between the weight and the miles per gallon. So you see that it showed us the relationship between those two variables of the different features of the different cars. And then I just see the box plot. So for the box plot, like I again take the miles per gallon and the number of cylinder. So number of cylinder, like the different cars had the different cylinders. So I wanted to see how these relationship looks like. So miles per gallon versus the cylinder, I just plotted here, and we see the relationship for the different cylinder, the different miles per gallon box we are seeing. And then again, there is like correlation metrics. So Sarah has showed us that we can plot the correlation metrics easily. So this is, for this, we have to install the core plot library. So I'll just install this package core plot, and using this core plot library, we can do all these things. So I'll use this dataset empty cars that I just attached from the R. So from this R, like I want to see what is the correlation between among all these variables that we have for the different cars. So I just give this function core plot m. Like m is here my data. Like I first calculated the core of empty cars. This will give me the value of the value of the correlation function, correlation coefficient. And using this correlation coefficient, I just plotted this core plot. So you see that I just give this argument m, the correlation coefficient, into the correlation function, and it the correlation matrix is just within a second, like it plotted this. Okay. Okay, I have not run this library. So we have to be careful always that we have to all first install and call the libraries always. And then like I did this m is equal to core of empty cars. This will calculate the correlation coefficient, and then you just plot it. Core plot of m, you see here. So we can modify these plots, like if we want to see the correlation value rather than these circles, then we can give the method is equal to number in the same core plot function. So in the same core plot function, I gave the method is equal to number, and it plotted us that rather than the circles, it will give us the numbers. You see that diagonals one, all are have the one. So diagonals one are the ones with mpg miles per gallon to the miles per gallon, it will give us the correlation one, right? So this will show between all among all the variables, that what is the correlation between the number of cylinders to the miles per gallon, between the weight to the miles per gallon, or among all. So using this specification, using these features, so this has like one advantage, in the second session you will see how we'll do the linear regression. So we can predict if one of the feature is not given, so we can predict using all these features the for like different type of model we want to create. So in this plot, like I just give the type lower. So if I want to see the lower part of the correlation matrix, this plot will show like this. And if you'll give the type upper, then it will be like this. And if you want to change the axis of the labels and all these, if you want to give change the scale of this, then you can give other arguments, and the colors and all these things you can change. And then later the last this heat map, so we can create the heat map. So for the heat map we have to convert our data set into the matrix form. So I have this empty cars data set that I attached. So I just converted it into the matrix, and then I just give it into the heat map function. And just by giving it into the heat map function, it will show you that it will create the heat map. So you see that this portion of from the heat map, it is not clear to us. So in the second one, I just changed the scale, and it will show you all the things. So it all completely depends on the inquiry or the things that we want to do, or like we want to first question from our data set that what we want to plot, and what is the information that we want to extract from our data set. So this 10th one I'm showing you is the dendrogram. Dendrogram is, again, you can use the plot HC. So HC is here is the H cluster. So it will so in this one line code, actually this is doing a huge lot of job. So this is like, first you have to calculate the distance among all the variables of empty cars features, and then you have to give it into the H cluster. So it will do the clustering. So the clustering, like you are seeing this hierarchical clustering. So here you see that based on just like this plot HC. So H class. So for this again, this we are using the Plotrix library. So Plotrix has all these function inbuilt in it. So again, like if you want to plot, uh, if you want to give the you want to change the edges of these cluster, you can change it by using the Sparkle library, and you just need to give these color dendrogram function. So it will show you the colorful edges. And then if you want to further modify this, then you can do it like using all these function plot HC. You can give all the arguments inside it. You just go into the help part, and it will show you all the arguments that we need to put into this function. So this will done all this will be done by just adding all these one or two lines. Axis you want to change, like this axis I have given the 90-degree, or you can tilt all these labels as you want. So there is one more thing, like you can create this phylogenetic trees. So this is again the same, the dendrogram that we were created using the H-cluster. So here you just want, we just need to give the as.philo. So it will create, and we can color it or we can modify it, and we can do all these things using this simple function in the, again, in the same library. So yeah, and so there is one more thing, like from the ggplot. So ggplot is the fancy library R has. All the plots that we have created using the Plotrix, this ggplot does the very great job. Like I'll just show you that in the ggplot, you do not need to give the labels, you do not give in detail the you do not need to write. If you have in your data set, it will take automatically. Like you see that I just give here the ggplot, I call it, and the data empty cars I use, and I want to plot between cylinder and the MPG, and I want to like see that how it looks like. So there is like there are themes, and you can give the title, and you can like for the axis name and all the axis labels, you have to give it obviously yourself. So here you see that it will automatically take the gradient of colors, and you can change this color also. So ggplot is actually a very good tool in plotting R. So yeah, so there is one more thing I want to show you, like how we can create the maps and all these things. So for the map part, I'll just go to my RStudio and I'll just show you there. So is my screen, RStudio screen, visible to you, all of you? Anirban sir, is my R screen visible?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So I was showing them that if I have a city data set, like air pollution, so this data set I'll just run, you'll see all the details in environment. So I just want to show you how we can plot using the ggplot, or using the like how we can plot the map. So it will just come here. It will take one or few minutes. See, so I just give this from the city data set. I just take this. I wanted to see how the like there are things like air pollution. So there are like this varies from 0 to above like 100, 200, or to 500. So there are very poor, severe condition, satisfactory condition, poor condition, moderate condition, or good condition. This red one is just the extra values. I wanted to see how like this. So in this two lines, like using ggplot, I just plotted it as a bar, geom bar function. So this is showing us that for all these cities, Ahmedabad and like these Chennai, Delhi, you see that in Delhi, the PM 2.5, the air pollution, like this particle matter is highest. So the air pollution condition in Delhi is very worst. And the color, like I showed you the stack and group bar plot. So the same way we can do in the ggplot also. And then here, like the color bar is showing you the different categories, like very poor, the Delhi's condition is very poor, and satisfactory, how much, moderate or good, or how it looks like. So this is how like we can do all these things on our data set. So yeah, I have not run it, so that is why it is showing that it does not has the month. I'll just show you the map. I'll just show you the map thing actually. Sorry. So here, if we want to create a map on Google Map or on a leaflet, so there is a library called Leaflet. So we can use this library, and we can plot the all the lat long and all the like that you are seeing here. The plot has come. So I just plotted the 38 locations of Delhi that I have considered in air pollution study. So you can zoom it, you can see what are all these locations are. So this is all like in the library called Leaflet. So you just need to give this Leaflet function, and then you just add your data set. Like I have all the lat and log in this Delhi lat long data set I have created, and then just these are just additional use, like there are in many ways you can see this map. Like this is the toner, if you want to see the topo, so this will look like this, and you can change all these in this function only. So there is like one thing I want to show you, like I have done all this like clustering and all these things. So I have plotted one Australia. There are some locations of Australia, like 194 locations I want to study on. So how these where are all these locations and how we can see? Yes, sir.
Yeah. So they were asking, all these data sets and the codes are already uploaded in this thing actually. So if you see the link on top, rpubs Alka Hapur 6699427, that's the name of our project actually. So if you click, you will be able to locate these things actually.
Right. So like here, you can zoom it and you can see all these things, like all the locations and all these things you can do yourself. Like I'm showing you that the way I have done for Delhi on the R interface, like RStudio, I was showing you this. So I published it on my website. You can publish it from here. Like you have to do obviously one or two things. You have to link all these in the RStudio. So this is how like we can do all these mapping things. Like there are a lot of things that we can do, but time constraint is not allowing us to show you all these things. But yeah, so one more thing, like I'll just so this Delhi one that I have done, I have published here in just one click, and you see here all the locations that the data set we have. So all these are like, I was telling you that we were considering the 38 locations. So these are the 38 locations of Delhi that we considered. So you can do all these things using the leaflet function. There is a leaflet library and there is a function. So you can use these function. So the question that I am actually expecting is that how this data set we import here, right? So you see that I have imported this data set. First I set my directory. So setting my directory, like where I have all these data sets and all these codes in my PC, right? So in from that folder, I just call this read.csv. If my file is in the .csv format, then I just call this function read.csv, and it will give you the file. Like I have all the files. So this files will show you what are the files I have actually. Yes.
Oh, that ma'am, there is a question regarding from Krishna Kumar ma'am only, that if you organize any special workshop or networks and things like that, so it would be very nice that we join. All of you, the participants, want to join. Many of them. That is another thing.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Right, right. So I normally organize two hands-on workshops. One is network science for beginners, and the other one is the statistical analysis using R. So normally I do it in the month of April, May, and the other one in October, November. So
Okay.
And yeah. So
yeah,
this takes almost like about a week or 5 days to cover all these topics.
okay,
So,
in details, yeah. Or
so
the
the
networks in.
details are usually shared on JNU website only.
Yes, it's under the mathematical and computation empowerment cell actually, and I normally make it available to anyone and everyone who's interested actually.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
So normally what we do is we give hands-on training. So you can come with your laptops, and we are like me and my students. We teach you how to do it. In front. And of course, now due to the pandemic, it's not possible to meet physically. But yeah, hopefully by May we'll have a better thing, and maybe we can do it. Yeah.
Definitely, sir. Because, sir, for many, like I'm looking at the Q&A box and the and even the chat, that we are getting a lot of questions on how to heat graph, how to make it. Ma'am has tried to explain it. Also, we are
Right.
getting questions on how to make the flows वाले जो banking flows को display करने के लिए जो charts है. All these kind of questions are coming up.
Right, right. No, no, I understand actually. So the problem is in this 1.5 hours, it is very difficult to,
I know,
put
sir.
everything. Yeah. Alka, may I, can you stop sharing? I'll share just a few.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure.
So,
I'll just stop sharing my screen.
yeah. So I think Alka has already shown these things, and these codes are all published here. So what I'll do is, for example, this one, if I go just to Microsoft Edge and I type that and I click it, you will actually see her codes. So you can go and you can actually have a look at the project. Okay, so these are all done by Alka, and you can actually have a look at it, and you can look at the codes, everything.
And one more thing I'll do, I'll add all the comments and I'll add all the text that is actually a requirement for you, all of you to understand this, how we are plotting this. So I'll make it a notebook for your
Correct. Correct.
understanding.
So you can see that, she has updated it 4 days ago, actually. So I requested her to create this one. So she created in this RPub and put everything there. Okay, so she can make it available. And suppose I want to modify, then she must give me the rights to modify or edit it, and then we can work simultaneously on that. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
It would be also nice if Alka ma'am or and you just share your presentations with us, so that we'll share it with the participants,
sure,
and they can actually practice it and come up with some queries later on. The same
absolutely.
can be answered by you on mail or something. I always
Sure.
share the email IDs at the end of the session, sir.
Sure, sure. What I'll do is like this, and what we could not show you, but that's the boring part. So what I'll do is I'll just tell you that
Yes, sir.
you have to know a little bit of this data structure and type, because in MATLAB you have the same thing, but you input it in a slightly different way. In R, like I told you, that there are strings and there are numbers. So what you have to do is actually know, what are the what are vectors, what are lists, what are matrices, what are arrays, what are factors, what are data frames, and you can use all of these in your code, actually. Okay, so just look at it in the next 2 minutes as a movie. So what Alka was doing is, creating these different vector sets, and then printing it, or using it in code to plot different things, right? So this is how I create a list, and how I print a list, and how would display in the console. And so you can have matrices, as we showed, or arrays, as we showed, or factors, as we showed, or data frames, as we showed. So more complicated things we normally input. So if you have a big data set, we input as a data frame, yeah, and then do all these manipulations. And once you have that data frame, you can do all your statistical analysis using those codes, or those plots that you do. So you have to, of course, know what type of operators are there. Okay, these are different types of operators. These are the mathematical operators. These are relational operators. These are the other type of operators that you need. These are logical operators. So all the codes that we normally do in C, Python, MATLAB are also available here. And these are assignment operators. Okay, these are some of the miscellaneous operators you need, and you have sometimes like a very easy thing. So here I want to create a list between like 2 and 8. I just put 2:8, and it will create all the numbers between 2 and 8. Okay, so those type of tricks and things are there. And as Alka showed, there is what is called a cheat sheet. So you find all the shortcuts in one place. Okay, you can download that cheat sheet, and then you can use that. Okay, and so there are rules for in giving inputs, like the strings. So you can either use single quotes, or you can use double quotes, but you cannot mix them. Okay, so you have to know those things, but this help functions will provide everything. Okay, and then you can use string manipulations. You want to change the uppercase to lowercase, or lowercase to uppercase. You can very easily, like I told you, in R it's very easy to do these things. And R is extremely powerful in handling both numbers, or statistical analysis, and also for strings, actually. Okay, and this is very easy. Like I told you, you can input a data sheet in a CSV format, or from an Excel format. Okay, it's just one line thing, that you just read these Excel sheets, you just read these CSV files, you give the path, and it will actually import all the data sets. Okay, and then you can use your loops and thing as usual for coding. So we are not going through these loop structures, but all the for while loops of do loops, all are valid, right? So you can actually do all the coding that you wanted to do using R as well. Okay, so those are some things that we wanted to show. Due to lack of time, we will be ending it here, and I will share the presentation with you, and the codes are already there, in the presentation, as well as in what Alka has shared. Okay, so thank you, Dr. Anjali Gupta, and I hope the participants enjoyed what we tried to show.
So, the way the participants have enjoyed the same You and Alka ma'am must be able to see in Q&A box as well as chat box that it is there, that they were really having a nice time. And really, we are really thankful to you, sir, for being a part of this refresher course. And special thanks to Alka ma'am for being there to add to what sir wants to share with the participants. Thank you to both of you. And definitely, sir, getting requests regarding sharing of the PPTs also, that you have already assured the participants, and the same assurance is going to be given by me also. Besides that, really, sir, we enjoyed the session. Even I was looking forward and having a nice time learning about R, and especially when we are having in a time when we have to analyze a big data is what it is there. So I think whether no matter what is the stream we are talking about, everybody needs to have an understanding about these softwares also, where we are in a better position to analyze the big amount of data that is coming our way, no matter we are science students or we are commerce students or we are from humanities or any other thing. Thank you, sir, for being there for us and adding to our knowledge. I just thank you, both of you, on behalf of TLC Center, Ramanujan College, as well as Indian Accounting Association, NCR chapter. And special thanks from Professor Vinay Gupta also, that you agreed to be a part of this workshop on his request. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you. Yeah.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you, all of you.
With this, we conclude this session and we come back for another session regarding regression using R. That will be there. We start at 12 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Purushottam, can we keep it logged in, or um, you'll start the session again? Dr. Purushottam? Hello, Purushottam.